her.
Sent her. What?
Hey guys, so Better Call Saul has returned for the second half of its final season, and can I just say the hype for this show is insane, and for good reason too, because it's the literal beginning of the end of the Breaking Bad Better Call Sauliverse. So in this video, I'm going to do a recap and give my own kind of breakdown of the episode, and I'll go over some predictions and what's to come for the final episodes. And if you can leave a like on this video and even consider subscribing to stay up to date with the latest content, I would appreciate it. So this episode is titled Point and Shoot, and we still do not get any black and white flash forwards of the Gene timeline, but instead we immediately see what would be the story of Howard's death and seeing his car parked on the beach with his shoe in the water with his wallet and wedding ring right on the dashboard. Then, title sequence. And we pick up right where we left off with Kim, Lalo, Jimmy, and Howard's body on the floor, and Lalo takes control of the room real quick and orders him to sit down. And then he gives Jimmy an assignment for him to drive to a house, knock on the door, and kill someone, and we assume that it's Gus's house. And it really just blows my mind how casual Lalo is about just giving this assignment to Jimmy.
Yeah, but don't worry. I mean, it's very easy. It's a revolver. It's already loaded. No safety. It's idiot-proof.
Like, yeah, go ahead and, it's not like it's buying a bag of chips from the store. Like, he's asking him to kill someone. And Jimmy just throws the job over to Kim, likely just a way to get her out of the way and sacrifice himself to Lalo's wrath. And I just love the acting in the scene because Kim is clearly terrified, but then Jimmy just hands her over the job and she's just like, nope, I don't want to do that. But she does come around and she understands that, yeah, Jimmy wants her to get away. And once Kim leaves, Saul gets tied up by Lalo, and Lalo just tells Jimmy about everything that happened to him since their last interaction, from Nacho setting him up to the failed assassination attempt. And once Lalo finished tying Jimmy up, he tells him, I'll be back to hear the rest of that story, and then he leaves. We then cut back to Kim and we see her on her way to the location, and I love the way that they show how scared she is. And even when the police car pulls up alongside of her and when she rolls down the window but ultimately says nothing, like, it really says a lot without saying nothing at all. And when she gets to the house, you can really feel the fear that's setting in as she's slowly walking up the door, and even the music is subtly heightening the tension. And then Mike intercepts Kim by bringing her in the house before she got herself killed, because imagine if he wasn't there. Oh my god. And this scene is also a reference to Breaking Bad when Walter showed up to try to kill Gus and he was immediately turned around, so it's nice to see what a failed assassination attempt would have looked like. But when Kim gets inside, she's panicking and confused, and I mean, I think anybody would be in that case. But Mike calms her down and she tells him that Lalo is at her apartment and he's going to kill Jimmy. And then she yells at him because she thought that he was watching him, so she's just like, yo, where were you? So Mike gets a few guys, including Tyrus from the laundromat, and they all meet at Kim's apartment. But could all this be a part of the plan? Because we do see Lalo parked in Jimmy's car across the street from the laundromat, watching people just leave. Then we see how Lalo sneaks into the laundromat. Back with Kim, Gus speaks with her on the phone about why Lalo saw her, and she says that Jimmy talked Lalo into sending Kim instead of Jimmy. And then Gus pauses for a moment and he realizes maybe Lalo has a plan and Kim was just a diversion. So Gus gets some of his men and they go to the laundromat, and Gus has a sneaking suspicion that Lalo is there, and his men are taken out quickly by Lalo, and he forces Gus at gunpoint to show him his project. And it's not shown, but the reason why Lalo knows what he knows is because he tracked down the German engineers and likely tortured information out of them. So while holding Gus at gunpoint, he's making a video for Don Eladio to expose Gus for what he is. And when they get to the washing machine entrance of the super lab, Gus just stops and stares at Lalo. And then Lalo just shoots him, and luckily he has a vest on, and that could be the reason why he was always taking those deep breaths. I know it's a reach, but maybe. We're then back at Kim's apartment and we see Mike and his boys have the place surrounded, and they're about to converge on the apartment, and honestly, it's just a pretty badass scene. Once they get to the apartment, they find Jimmy tied to a chair and gagged. Mike calms him down by reassuring that Kim is fine, and he wants to know where and when did Lalo go. But back at the pit, Lalo is still holding Gus at gunpoint while he's narrating his video, and then he gives Gus time to speak. And while he's speaking, he starts to put everything down on the table, from how he hates Don Eladio to even his hatred for the Salamancas, even revealing that he kept Hector alive so he can tell him that he killed his whole family, all while walking toward an extension cord. And to the average Salamanca like Tuco or the twins, they would have let their emotions get ahead of them. But with Lalo, he's not even fazed by that, and he's just smiling, asking, are you done? And in that moment, Gus kicked the power off and ran towards that gun under the forklift, and he managed to land a shot on Lalo. And I love how this is the first time we actually see Gus genuinely scared as the clip empties. And it's only when he turns the lights on from the forklift that he can see Lalo bleeding on the floor. And in his final moments, in true Lalo fashion, he dies with a smile on his face. Gus then collapses and pulls a bullet from his vest, and he notices that he's bleeding, but you can tell that he's relieved from his breathing. Either that or he's probably breathing like that from the gunshot. And true to his nature, while he's being patched up, he calls Lyle, the supervisor from the Los Pollos Hermanos, and he gives him store manager duties for the next 2 weeks, most likely to have him heal from his wounds. We're then taken back to Kim's apartment and we see Jimmy sitting in the bathroom with a look of fear and concern on his face while one of Mike's guys is emptying his refrigerator to put Howard's body in it. And then Mike arrives with Kim at the apartment with a new refrigerator, and Kim and Jimmy just hug for a moment, just happy to see each other. Jimmy tells Mike that Lalo said he's coming back, and Mike assures him that Lalo is gone, but Jimmy's still on the edge, and Mike assures him again that Lalo is gone and tells them both to sit down as he explains the plan to him. Another callback to Breaking Bad in his first appearance when he was cleaning Jesse's house after Jane died.
Say it. I woke up, I found her, that's all I know.
And he tells him that Howard's car will be somewhere several states away, and it'll look as if though he committed suicide leaving his car on the beach with cocaine inside of it. And you can just tell that they're still processing the night that they had, and I couldn't tell you who was more shocked by the whole thing. And when Mike walks out the door, Jimmy sees Howard's body being stuffed in the fridge, and he just gives a look like, damn. And in the last scene, we'll see Lalo and Howard's final resting place be under the super lab. And as they're throwing their bodies down in the pit, Mike removes Howard's shoes, wallet, and wedding ring, and we see those same items are in his car in the opening scene. Then the episode ends with the two being buried. So this episode had so much packed into it, and honestly I was a little disappointed when Lalo was killed off so early, but with 5 more episodes to go, I'm pretty sure that the show will be a lot more Saul and Kim focused and probably dealing with the aftermath of Howard's death and deciding if this is the life that they want to live. Because on one hand, this life might be too much for Kim, and seeing how quickly Saul gave her up, even if it was to protect her, she might just not trust him or even grow to distrust him. And for Saul, he might be comfortable with this life and just accepting that this is all a part of the game. And we even get a voiceover preview of the next episode where Saul's repeating the same thing Mike said to him in the episode of Bad Choice Road.
One day we'll wake up and we'll brush our teeth and we'll go to work, and at some point we'll suddenly realize that we haven't thought about it at all.
Hey, you're gonna wake up, eat your breakfast, brush your teeth, go about your business. And sooner or later, you're gonna realize you haven't thought about it.
But that's just me and my thoughts on Better Call Saul, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode and your predictions for the next episode, which is titled Fun and Games. Whatever it is, comment below and let me know. Until then, I've been Gerald, but you can call me Merge. Later.